boys and girls. This is Reason, that voice in your head you should listen to. Anyways, I'm going to refute this video called ANCAT Makes an Absolute Fanny of Himself, made by a communist named Twist. So sit back and enjoy.
So this video that I'm responding to here, basically some facts for statists, supposedly made by an anarchist who's actually not really an anarchist. He's just a voluntarist bootlicker, let's be honest. Now, even though I'm not a Marxist, I mean, to be fair, the terms being used here are very loosely defined. I imagine by statist he just means any sort of Marxist, which I'm not, but I can still see through the bullshit.
If you have to insult someone because you feel inadequate, then it just means your argument sucks.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. Alright, we can fucking get through this.
Of course you can, Cupcake. I mean, unless you feel triggered.
Number 1. You cannot legislate the poor into prosperity by legislating the wealthy out of prosperity.
Okay, sure you can. This is an easy one. So basically, I think most people would agree that, someone with $50 million is just about as equally prosperous as someone who's got $200 million, because the things necessary to make human life prosperous can be bought with $200 million just as much as they can with $50 million. So they're equally prosperous. So this is a completely hypothetical scenario, but let's say you've got a guy who's got $200 million, you put a bullet in his head, you take his money, you divide it among 4 people, and now they're all equally prosperous. They've got $50 million each. And now you've spread the wealth equally among 4 different people from one person.
Okay, simply put, if you have to shoot someone to redistribute their wealth, then you should understand it's theft. But if you don't shoot him, what's left for him to live off of? At least in a capitalist society, everyone has a chance to make just as much money as the next guy. As where communism will cause more poverty due to people making less money due to wealth redistribution.
Number 2. What one person receives without working for, another person must work for without receiving.
Well, this is entirely dependent on what the thing is that's being made. I could build a shed on the end of my street that can be used by the whole community, and they're all reaping the benefits of my labor, but at no point am I being exploited because I'm able to use it as well. But if you're talking about something like food that can only be used once, you're right, and that's why socialists are against capitalists owning the means of production and exploiting their workers by reaping the surplus of their labor while doing fuck all towards the product being made.
Okay, building a shed and earning money are 2 very different things, and in no way are employees being exploited since they're being paid. But in a communist society, those employees would be exploited because they won't be making as much money thanks to that wealth redistribution you love so much. Also, unless you bought those means of production, you're not the one who will be reaping the money and products that come with said production.
3. The government cannot give to anybody anything that the government does not first take from somebody else.
Yeah, and? Who gives a shit?
I give a shit, asshole.
You can't just have a premise and then not follow with a conclusion. If taxation can keep people alive, then it's good enough.
Yeah, and without taxation, people could keep more of what they earn and buy the means to stay alive. No one is owed what they need to live. It is your own job to make your living, not someone else who works while you sit on your ass.
Number 4. When half of the people get the idea that they do not have to work because the other half is going to take care of them, once the other half gets the idea that it does no good to work because somebody else is going to receive what they work for, that is where the downfall of society begins.
Ooh, no. This doesn't make any sense because, first of all, how have you arrived at the conclusion that under statism, 50% of people would not want to work anymore? I think you'll find most people enjoy working. It's awfully convenient that the numbers are split 50-50 in your fucking hypothetical scenario. And why would this, even if this did happen, how would this cause the downfall of society? You can't.
Well, let me tell you, Casper, People can be lazy, and knowing this alone should lead you to the same understanding most people who hate communism understand. If he doesn't have to work, why should I? There is your reason for your downfall of society.
You can't just have these declarative statements without proving it.
Learn to edit, faggot.
A corporation is simply a business that is granted legal protection by the government. Therefore, if anything bad that happens involves a corporation in any way, that is the fault of the government, not the free market.
This has got to be my favorite part of this fucking ANCAP's video, because it's so beautifully honest. Because if you noticed, he didn't say anything that does happen is the result of corporatism. He said anything bad that happens. So he's basically saying anything that I like is capitalism, anything I don't like, it isn't capitalism. This is absolutely amazing.
That's because when a corporation screws up and is taking on water, the government is there to bail it out, as where in a truly capitalist society, it would be allowed to fail, and competition would replace said corporation with better and less expensive products.
Number 7. You can wrap your argument in as many layers of appeal to emotion as you want, but the fact of the matter is, no one is owed food, water, clothing, and shelter for simply existing.
Well, human beings are ANCAPs I'm not quite sure about yet.
And yet you don't want to refute this fact that is the basis of the argument. I would end the video here, but I'm having too much fun pointing out your stupidity. But you probably want to redistribute fun too, huh?
Market. Number 9. The working class is all of America. The owning class is the government.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it sink in for a moment that this cretinous little fucking twat just called the Koch brothers working class.
Wow, another fact gone unrefuted. I thought as much. And just sprinkle those insults where you can't argue your point, as most snowflakes do.
Government. Number 10. Capitalism is a voluntary and consensual transaction resulting in the exchange of goods or services without government intervention. It has nothing to do with monetary hierarchy. It has nothing to do with exploitation.
Well, you certainly made your point there. My question is if exploitation and monetary hierarchy doesn't have anything to do with capitalism, then why does it happen in capitalism? If you can answer that, that'd be great. Also, it's not really a meaningful choice, is it? You call it voluntary, but if the choice is either sell yourself to a private company for 8 hours a day or starve to death, it's not really a meaningful fucking choice, is it?
So the commie doesn't want to work now. Look, you're not selling yourself, you're being paid, and no one is forcing you to get a job. For one, there are no links. I've screenshotted your video as proof. Second, that channel art and avatar is a million times better than your Taliban-looking YouTube avatar and meme background.
Capitalism. Number 12. The way a capitalist makes money is by selecting a good or service that is already being provided and then giving the population that same good or service at a lower price and a higher quality than their competitors. They get rich off of making your lives better.
Yeah, sure. It's not like they're going to use the money that they've made to monopolize their industry so they can charge as much as they want for the shittest product because they know that their buyers are completely reliant on their product because they've completely crushed all competition.
That would require either government backing or full control over the source of the product, which in a truly capitalist society, there are no patents to stop you from making the same product under the same design because there is no government interference.
Jesus fucking Christ. These arguments are even bad for an ANCAP, and that's saying something.
Funny, seeing as I've refuted every one of your arguments so far.
Number 13. The government bailed out Wall Street. Capitalism would have let Wall Street fail.
Capitalism was the reason that the 2008 crash happened in the first place, mate. I know you're like 13 or something and you don't know this shit, but that's the way it is.
Even if he was 13, he still knows more about economics than you do. And he's not 30, living in his mother's basement, probably like you are.
And I know what you're going to say, oh no, that's corporatism, not capitalism. Just shut the fuck up. There isn't a meaningful distinction because capitalists need the state to exist in order to defend private property and to repress the working class. So it is capitalism.
No, you shut the fuck up. You don't understand a single thing you just said. It was corporatism because, as said before, if the government didn't step in, it would have been allowed to fail. And no, we don't need the state to defend our private property. That's what guns are for, you retard.
Will never be anarcho-capitalism.
Yes, it is.
Number 17. There is absolutely nothing about taxation that does not make it theft. If you say that's just the way it is, then by that same logic, I could say that a female born from a slave mother, born in the human trafficking ring, is going to get raped a lot in her lifetime. And that is okay, because that's just the way it is. Number 8.
It is theft. And I go back to my previous point of who gives a shit. The fact of the matter is that in a capitalist system, the working class need taxes in order to keep them from living in squalor. Comparing it to rape is ridiculous because rape doesn't serve the benefit for anyone besides the rapist. But if a community of people need a hospital, if they need a road, if they need food, then taxes will provide that for them. It's a bit of a distinction, don't you think?
Let's refer back to my third comment. I give a shit, asshole. Without taxation, people would be able to keep more of what they earn and be able to buy what they need. Again, you are not owed what you need to live.
Equality and freedom cannot coexist. For every 1 point in equality you gain, you trade away 2 points of freedom.
Okay, so it's good to know that this user left the most fucking ridiculous point to the end.
All of your points have been ridiculous.
But I don't know what fucking world you're living in where you think that equality and freedom are somehow exclusive one another, because they're essentially the same thing.
No, it's not.
Because if you have complete equality, no one has the power to take away anyone else's freedom.
Right. You're equal as long as we take your money by force. Equal money does not mean equal freedom, because as long as I'm being lowered in my finances to equal to you, I'm being kept from going anywhere in life, and I'm being made to work for your expenses. Anyways, that's all this commie had to say, but I think I've more than proven how communism does not work, and hopefully educated any communists watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more. If you got any suggestions on what I should do next, let me know in the comment section down below. And remember, stay reasonable.